What's going on, Duelist? ThePokeRapper here with a very important message for everyone. Trust your reads. I want to take you through a match I played last night against a higher ranked person. I think they're like 21st right now on the ladder. I'm up there. I'm like 40th, but if you don't play for a day or two, damn, you really fall behind. I didn't realize that the grinding is pretty crazy, so we get outplayed here, bad side, and I'm going to quickly go through the first couple games because it's all about the third game, really. It was a very good match, though. Alright, let's do this quickly. Alright, so when I see this, you know, I don't like that it's telling us the stats of Hamster, so we know that it's Hamster, but I love this card. I love Mind Control, too. If you're not playing Mind Control deck or Mind Control and Blackwing, this card's crazy, especially with a lot of tuners. So we have double Whirlwind, but we're not looking great yet. This is why Legacy is so good, because it allows us to let our opponent overplay and get punished by it, right? So if this is Raikou and they want to clear the back row, then they wasted their Raikou. Unless they're going to synchro or do something with it, in which case, you know, what are they going to do? Flip Raikou, pop it, we draw a card, summon Diva, get another Diva, make an Armory Arm, and then a Goyo or something, which we could Blizzard Mind Control most likely, or we're looking good in this position, right? So I love just setting Legacy here. Our opponent flips Hamster, gets Raikou, summons Gear Frame, gets Fortress. Alright. Now, let me speed this up just a little bit, because we don't need to explain Legacy in Raikou. Alright, so we're looking for a big Blackwing here. We get Kalute, big enough. We're going to Mind Control this, want to sequence it properly, right? Because if we want to force this Dust Shoe or Dust Tornado MST before, you know, we draw an extra card, right, with Legacy. It's none of those, so we get that out of there. We don't mill any Blackwings for Blizzard. We draw another Blizzard off the Legacy, but because we drew that Kalute, we're able to get Gale, which is going to clear the field. Now we have some decisions to make, and I do encourage everyone to comment and let me know if you would have played any of these games or any of these scenarios out differently, because I like the way I played it here. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself here. Now, we can make an 8, right? But then we're sitting with an 8, and they have a Fortress in their hand, so I'm thinking Icarus Attack is going to go a long way. Obviously, we want to get Raikou off the field at least to make sure that we don't get Caiused. So I think this is a fine play. I think this is an okay play. Unfortunately, we can't keep Kalute. We can't get Kalute in the graveyard without leaving Raikou on the field, right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, unless we made an 8, which we don't want to do. So, our only thing we could do here, we have to leave Kalute on the field. We can't, obviously, synchro with a Kalute and a Raikou. So, it sucks because we have 2 Blizzards, and we want to be able to Blizzard this Kalute to make Cadister. And right here, they can Caius over this, but they're going to opt not to. They're going to attack first, and they're going to put our Kalute in the graveyard. But I guess Whirlwind's so powerful that they actually make the play to let us keep our Kalute engraved just so they can get Whirlwind off the field. Didn't explain this. I only played 1 Whirlwind on that turn just because we already have 2 Blizzards in our hand, and we don't need to overcommit to the field. Double Whirlwind and Icarus Attack just to get a 3rd Blizzard, right? Maybe we could thin the deck out if you want to argue with me about that. I don't think so. I think 1's fine, and if they do what they did to get rid of 1, then I don't know, maybe they play it differently. So here we're good. Nice plus here. Just going to get Gale, going to half, going to attack, going to get deprisoned. So we're looking okay. Right now we're looking okay. They went first. They have 5 to our 7 when we draw. They're going to summon Plague Spreader. Their Caius is halved. And I thought about this for a couple seconds, but I do Icarus. So now they have 3 to our 5 when we draw. Fayu's not really doing much. We don't have a level 4, so we can't Bryo, put it in grave, unfortunately. They're putting the pressure on with Fortress. We draw Bora. And I think about this one for like a good minute. Really thinking about this one on how, you know, what our lose conditions are right here. And I don't want to Yeah, Brain Control's gone, but Plague Spreader's in grave, so Caius is a game, right? So if we just go Blizzard Canister attack, and they have another Caius, then we lose. So, but we also lose the Gores, right? Excuse me. So I make Cat here, and I just leave Bora on the field, because if they want a Caius, I guess if they want a Caius, they're going to Caius this attack over this, right? But at least if they do it wrong, we can collude, and we're not just losing the game. So they're going to stack for Plague Spreader. They are going to have Caius, so good thing that we did it the way that we did to keep ourselves alive. We need a good card here. We draw Collude, which is I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Get our last Blizzard. I think that's our last Blizzard. Sure is. Don't want to lose to Caius again, right? Sitting at exactly 1,000, so maybe we have them right where we want them finally. But unfortunately, the card that they stacked with Plague Spreader was Force. Now, as I'm editing this video, I noticed one potentially crucial misplay here on my part. I Icarus attack, killing these two monsters, tributing my Gale, but if I had let him just make Stardust Dragon, and then pitch Fortress, and Force, you know what they are, to bring out the Fortress, he would have swung, hit me for 25, put me at 22. Even not knowing that I'm drawing Bora next turn, I could just go summon Blizzard, bring back Gale, half the Stardust, swing over it with Blizzard, but knowing that I am drawing Bora, I could even play it a little bit differently if I wanted to go Blizzard, special Gale, half the Stardust, special Bora, synchro with the Gale for Armor Master, Blizzard swing over Stardust, Armor Master, bang out with Fortress, Armor Master doesn't die, he has an option of what to do, in which case he could pop the Icarus attack, or the Armor Master. If he pops the Icarus attack, then next turn he's going to go draw, stack the, this is also a Force on top of his deck, stack the Force for Plague, tribute for Caius, remove this monster. If I have Icarus, then I can target my own, or tribute my own monster to target his Caius in my Whirlwind. If he pops this, then he's going to Caius over the Armor Master. I take 1,000, I'm at 12. He's going to attack my Blizzard. I'm going to drop Collude right there. And that's going to put me at, that's going to have me run over his Caius by 300, leaving him with nothing. I'm going to draw. I could set my value. I could turn Blizzard to defense mode, and then he's going to draw Force, get rid of it, to bring out Fortress, swing, and then we're actually playing the game. So this, I was worried that once he made Stardust, I was not going to be able to use this, but that's just not right at all, because I had Blizzard to easily get over it next turn, and then Icarus is such a powerful card that we could have had so many options to get rid of, you know, the remainder of what he was going to be able to do. You know, if he was going to have to stack for Play, Caius, pitch, you know, whatever combination of stuff he was going to have to do, Icarus was going to cover all of it once Stardust was off the field. Impatient on my part, worth knowing, big misplay, had to let you guys know. Anyway, on to game 2. And that's going to be it. Alright, so we go to game 2. Close one. We did what we could. Didn't see any big monsters till the end and tried to, you know, do what we could. This is a very debatable opening hand on how you might want to play this. I think it's very safe to... I don't know, when you're playing Hamster Raikou decks, it's tough, right? You know a lot of back rows are most likely going to come in, and with the combination of Hamster Raikou, it's just going to be problematic. So I don't like to set Solemn too early. I honestly don't even want to set Mirror Force too early. I kind of... Bluffing only goes so far, so if I summon Shura, set a couple back row like one's Icarus, or even set one like it's Icarus, you just want to put yourself in a good field position to cover everything, and I think the position right now, I don't know, this is real debatable, but with Blizzard in hand, I want Shura on the field. I want to try to make sure that Shura gets in the graveyard, right? And then we have Gale too, the boy. So I'm just going to summon Shura and set Mirror Force. I think that's safe. If they have Hamster, that's unfortunate for us. I'm expecting, you know, a T set or even a couple back row set, and I don't want to lose my Solemn to Raikou. Just tough matchup. This is like about the time where I'm thinking this is a tough matchup. I hope Cyber Dragon goes a long way, and I'm not going to do anything with it until I have Solemn set and I feel safely about what I'm doing. So luckily for me, they actually just special summon Cyber Dragon in Swing, allowing us to collude if we have it. We don't. We just play our Mirror Force. That way we're not, committing too many cards to the field. I don't want to set the Solemn next to it or just let this die and then special summon Cyber Dragon and, have it get bottomless or something like that. So, Mirror Force, they summon Gear Frame, they get Fortress, they set 3 back row. Perfect time to draw Dushu when they now only have 2 cards in their hand. And I'm thinking, if this gets Deprisoned, that's unfortunate, right? But we don't want to get Caiused. We have Cyber Dragon. I special the Gale. I could have opted to bang out here, but I want to see. And that's what you get to do with Black Wings. You get to see what your opponent has. You get to pick them apart a little bit. So I special Gale here. Do you have Torrential? No Torrential. Alright, so maybe you do, but maybe you want me to go into Black Rows because you set 3 back row. Probably not going to Solemn this, right? So, could be a Bottomless. Could be a Deprison, could be some Dust Tornadoes, could be a Starlight Road, right? We don't know. We're testing the waters. We have cards to play with, right? We have Blizzard, we have Cyber Dragon. We know they have Fortress. We're good, right? Especially with Solemn 2. Dushu is unfortunate to draw, but sometimes you're going to draw a good card, sometimes you're going to draw a bad card, right? So this actually goes through, and that tells us, okay, probably not Deprison. So now we're reading, right? We're trying to make some reads. We get Vayu. Now I'm going to set 2. I could have synchroed right here for Canister, but I figure make them do the work, right? Like, make them dust these cards. I don't want to just go into Bottomless and I'm sitting with Gale. I guess I could, because then I could still... It's just not great, right? Because then we have to Blizzard, and what are we going to get back? Goyo's going to get popped. We don't want to get Bryo. We can't make Canister. We're not in a great spot, so I want them to not even so much worry about Icarus, but just kind of leave a bunch of monsters on field so that I could tribute this for Cyber Dragon next turn and still have Blizzard. I realize a lot while I'm editing these videos, but not knowing that they're going to drop Fortress next turn, if I make Canister and they Bottomless, that's okay, because then we kind of clear the Bottomless for Cyber Dragon, and we saw that they didn't have Deprison most likely, so if they do drop Fortress after Bottomlessing a Canister, if I make it and run over the Gale, then we could special summon Cyber Dragon, most likely get that to go through successfully, and still have a Blizzard in our hand. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's a tricky one, and I could see a lot of room for debate in this play as well. Don't look at that. Don't look at what that is. So yeah, I'm just going to let this go through. No problem. We're sitting in a good spot. In a decent spot. A decent spot. We have to sort of see how this is going to go now. And unfortunately for them, it goes like this, where I draw the best card possible. Sometimes you're going to draw bad cards. Sometimes you're going to draw really good cards, right? So we make up for it. And I'm playing it, right? Because if they have Starlight Road and Solemn, then that's unfortunate. But we have Gale. We could just have the Stardust Dragon when it comes out, right? So we heavy. They're going to Starlight Road. I'm going to Solemn. They're going to show the other back row. We're Traps on an MST. Would have been crazy if they MST took a shot and hit the Solemn, right? And left the Dust Shoot. But now I feel like I'm in a good spot. So I'm just going to... make Chimera Tech. They set all those cards. I'm not super worried about Gores right now, especially because Gale hasn't used its effect yet, so we could half the Gores and be okay. They're going to set 2 back row here. I'm going to think about it, as I do. I'm going to think about it. 1 Mirror Force, 3 Deprisons. Value's already gone, but we have Blizz, right? I swing for 13. Nothing in defense. We see the finish line, right? Sometimes you gotta... There's a lot of cards, right, in that deck. You gotta sometimes go for it if you see the finish line. And we do. Fortunately, could have got punished. Could have been, even if Chimera Tech gets Deprisoned, then we still have a Blizzard. We have good follow-up if they top deck a monster, I think. So now game 3, and this is the point I want to really drive home the whole reason for this video. Trust your reads, because this is how this game plays out. Gear frame, fortress, 2 back row, I draw. Okay, here we go. This is a wonderful hand, right? Only for game 3 I put 1 Fossil Dine in. I thought it'd be nice to set it and get fortresses off the field. Bad against a lot of the other cards in this deck. Very, very good against fortress. Good way to clean it up without killing it by battle, or targeting it, or having to Icarus into Starlight Road. So I like this hand a lot. I actually am going to opt to, and this is highly debatable too, we kind of have all the pieces we need, right, to try to be successful in this game, except back row, which is what I'm looking for. We don't draw, but we draw MST, which I'm thrilled about. I get rid of Sirocco, because I figure, again, we have to test the waters. We can just random space one if we want, right? I'm looking at these 2 back row, and I'm thinking, one's probably Starlight Road, and the other one's probably something else. It's the something else that we need to figure out. Or if he's really trying to get me to psych myself out and second guess myself, maybe he's trying to make me think that he does have Starlight Road, so I'm not going to Heavy Storm, and he could have like a Bottomless and Dust Tornado or a Dusty Prison, something like that. Tough to read, right? But in my head, I see 2. I'm thinking one of them's probably Starlight Road, but only one way to find out. I guess we could random space, but I don't want to do that because it's so valuable to me. I want to test the waters. I remove 1 Sirocco because I figure if one of these back row is bottomless and Sirocco gets bottomless, it would be really bad if the other one ends up being dust because we committed Whirlwind to the field, so the MST is not going to be able to get us plus. It's going to ruin that play for us. But if we can MST the other one and it's not dust, then next turn we could Shura, search with Whirlwind, get Gale, have this, still run over and get our plus, and probably knock the other monster that he's in a set, unless he has another gear frame or he starts going crazy. So, Whirlwind Sirocco gives me the thumbs up, activate Whirlwind, lets me search. Alright, so now, start crossing cards off the list and start making mental notes, right? Book a Moon, probably not, probably would have booked it, right? Compulsory, maybe still could be compulsory, right? Because why are you going to put this back in my hand just to let me summon it again? Starlight Road's looking real good. It's not bottomless. It's not Dust Tornado. It's not MST. What's left? Mirror Force, D-Prison, Starlight Road. We saw a Trap Stun, right, the last game. Could be a Trap Stun. Okay, so I'm thinking about this. Thinking long and hard. And I'm thinking, do I just want to attack right here? Which I think is fine, right? But if it's D-Prison, then next turn they really get to look at our hand, right? We're going to set MST. They could start playing aggressive if they want, right? Knowing, if they have a Starlight Road set, then they're in really, really good shape to start putting a lot of bodies on the board, especially if they have another gear frame. So I'm gonna trust my little gut here. I think to myself, there are 3 D-Prisons and 1 Mirror Force, right? If I make Stardust and it gets D-Prisoned, that's pretty minus. I almost never make Thought Ruler, but this is one of those occurrences. I say to myself, I'm gonna do it. I Special Gale lets it go through, not Torrential. Maybe would have Torrentialed on the Sirocco summon, right? I think that makes sense, because he's not going to see what I get with the Whirlwind, right, until after the fact. So I'm really thinking to myself that this is probably the play. If it's Mirror Force, it's Mirror Force, right? He takes the damage, I get my 18, this resets when it goes to grave. So I set my MST safely, and we pass. So now we're looking like a stud, right? He didn't do anything, could be Trap Stun, but I'm really thinking it's Road and D-Prison. Pitches Fortress to bring out a Fortress, pitches 2 of them, pitches Force to bring out another one. Alright, so now he has 6 to our 7 when we draw. Oh, they're both mandatory. Oh, so Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. So I get to gain 25 as he's turn player. Kills it. I take 25. So now he has 5 cards to my 6 when I draw. So we're looking pretty good because we have Fossil Dine at a set to kill this, right? That's a nice out. But we drew the best possible card right here, right? I mean, this is a huge problem with this deck, is that Gear frame is absolutely insane. When I have gear frame in my hand, I'm like, this is unbelievably good. But then to get Fortress on the field, you have to, unless you're going to mill it with Raikou and just start pitching with gear frame to go 1-for-1, then gear frame looks like a stud. But if you have to pitch 2 Fortresses to special summon one, you kind of lose that advantage, and the deck kind of gets, I don't know, like Knock really hurts it, Cyber Dragon really hurts it, like Cyber Dragon really hurts it, and because we're going off the reads that the only things left that these back row could be are Deep Prison, Starlight Road, and Trap Stun, maybe Compulse. I think we're good to just put Sidra on the field, right? Make our Chimera Tech. Let's it go. Trust your read. Why are we going to stop now? Summon Shura. Think about it for a minute. Grab Bora. They're not stopping our summons. It's not Mirror Force, right? So I think about it here. I go for 2,000 first because I want to see if they're going to Deep Prison this. Because I think the problem is they most likely want to Deep Prison this, because if I grabbed Bora, then they think I probably have Kalut already, or they're just worried about Kalut in general. So they take the 2,000. I still opt to attack with the Shura. And boom, there is the Deep Prison. So it comes full circle now. They're sitting with 4 monsters in grave, 1 back row. Haven't had to use the MST yet since turn 1. Could have just slammed it and saw, right? They said it. 1 back row. Now we get to see Pot of Avarice. That means they're hurting if they're setting cards like that. And now we draw another Knock. Not doing us anything crazy. Would have been perfect if they had a monster. And that seems like the turn that they would have set a monster. But we summon Bora. We're able to get Kalut. And we're able to see that the read was right. They gave us all the information we needed at the correct times, and we're able to get that win. We're able to get that win, babe. What do you think? What do you think? Good reads? Good reads? So, thank you guys very much for watching. The whole point of this video I wanted to make was, especially with Blackwing, is sometimes you gotta, the only way to get through all the back row is to get through all the back row, and trust your reads. I am potentially thinking about, not because of this video, or this is not like clouding me at all or making me think that I'm like better than I am. I just made a nice read and it happened to be right. But just from all the content that I make and all the, not all of it, but okay amount, from all the positivity I receive from you guys, I actually am thinking about potentially like coaching, going on like Coachify or one of those websites. I don't know if that's a stupid idea or not, honestly. I don't know if anyone would actually take me up on that, but I'm thinking about it, and I am genuinely curious to see if you guys think it's a good idea or not. So if you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Either way, always appreciate the support and the love. Right back at you guys, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.